Given that then, Dmitry, what changes in camp? Do you incorporate anything new at all?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Dmitry Bivol claims he needs to be better in every aspect of the fight to beat Artur Beterbiev in the rematch, implying he isn't good enough yet.
Do you feel that you have to take more risk, be a little bit more aggressive to not have such a close decision with Beterbiev, in your opinion?
I have to be better in all positions.
In the lead up to the highly anticipated rematch between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, both fighters are making significant adjustments to their training camps and mindset in an effort to improve upon their previous encounter. Bivol, having tasted defeat in their first bout, is approaching this rematch with a renewed sense of determination. The Russian fighter acknowledged the need for improvement in every aspect of his game. He knows that in order to avoid another close decision, he must be better in all phases of the fight. This includes sharpening his skills in all positions, working on his footwork, defensive tactics, and increasing his overall agility and quickness. Bivol, known for his technical abilities and high ring intelligence, is focused on refining his precision and being more elusive when facing Beterbiev's aggressive style. His camp is also adjusting their strategy to ensure that Bivol can outwork his opponent, control the pace, and stay smart throughout the fight.
Everything I have to do better. I have to be better Dmitry Bivol than today or yesterday.
As part of his preparations, Bivol has made several changes to his training camp. He has brought in new sparring partners to help him refine his skills, and has also added a coach who focuses on stretching, allowing him to enhance his flexibility and mobility in the ring. Beyond physical adjustments, Bivol's mindset has shifted as well. He has a different outlook heading into this fight, with a deeper, more personal motivation driving him.
Some new sparring partners. We have one new coach for stretching, and the situations around me is different, and my mind is a little bit different. A lot of different things.
While some may describe it as a pursuit of redemption or revenge for his previous loss, Bivol emphasized that he is not solely fighting for the belts. His desire to win is rooted in proving to himself that he is capable of defeating Beterbiev and putting behind the feeling of disappointment that followed his first loss. While Bivol admitted that losing the first fight was difficult, he has not lingered on it. He made the decision to close that chapter of his career, to not dwell on being called a former world champion or having a loss on his record, and instead move forward with the lessons learned.
How's your mind different, Dmitry?
Now I don't want only the belts. I want, there is something more inside of me, and I want revenge.
Oh wow, you want revenge?
Bivol's preparation is laser focused on counteracting Beterbiev's most formidable asset, his power. With the knowledge that Beterbiev is an aggressive fighter who poses a major threat, Bivol is honing his ability to stay elusive and land sharp counters. He knows that Beterbiev's relentless approach, characterized by pressure and powerful shots, will require him to stay smart and work harder than ever. With these adjustments, Bivol believes that he can improve upon his performance in the first fight and be more effective in the rematch.
Like I wanna be winner. I wanna win him. I wanna win. I don't know is it right word, revenge, or not, but I mean that I lost and I don't like it. I wanna win. I wanna prove myself that I could win him. Redemption, yeah.
Yeah. Well, revenge, redemption. Yeah, like you want to get it back.
Yeah. I wanna get it back. Yeah, it's. Not only about belts now.
In contrast, others in the boxing world have weighed in with their predictions and analysis of the upcoming rematch. Anthony Yarde was clear in his assessment that Beterbiev won their first fight, though he conceded it was close enough that it could have gone either way. Despite some of the uproar from fans calling it a robbery, Yarde remains convinced that Beterbiev would emerge victorious in the rematch. However, he suggested that targeting Bivol's body more effectively could lead to greater success for Beterbiev in this encounter, potentially leading to a more decisive finish.
I do think Beterbiev won the first fight. It was a close fight. People will start saying stuff about robbery. I don't know about all that. It was a very, very close fight. Could have went either way. And the second fight, I see Beterbiev winning again, if I'm honest. But this time, if he goes to the body a bit more, I think he can cause more damage.
Lonnie B has similarly predicted that Beterbiev will win again in their second fight, but with a slightly different outcome. He believes that Beterbiev will focus on the body early in the fight, capitalizing on the vulnerability there to break down Bivol's defense over time. He expects that this strategy could result in a stoppage between the 9th and 10th rounds, as Beterbiev wears down his opponent and capitalizes on his unrelenting style. This prediction is based on his belief that Beterbiev was still somewhat recovering from surgery when they fought the first time, but that he will come into this rematch in better form.
Moving like Soviet pendulum style, but he's clearly a boxer. I mean, he's a great amateur style, right?
Right.
Well, then you obviously got Arthur in the rematch, right? By style.
Yeah, I got Arthur.
Right?
And no excuses, but I think Arthur came and fought too fast off that surgery. I think this fight he gonna stop. I think this fight he go to the body more. He gonna stop Bivol.
You think it will be early, or you think it's gonna be a long, late round fight?
I think like probably 9 or 10. If Arthur starts to the body in the first round, I think he'll get him out of there about 9 or 10.
Okay.
Chris Algieri offered his take on the significance of the fight. While he acknowledged that the rematch might not have the same dramatic flair as their first meeting, he emphasized that it remains an incredibly important bout for the weight class in the sport. Algieri pointed out that the fight has ramifications for the divisions and pound-for-pound ranking, making it a compelling match for boxing fans. The competitive nature of both fighters and the high stakes surrounding the contest adds to its significance in the boxing world.
You got the main event, which, listen, compared to the last fight, obviously what we saw in the first fight, it's not going to be a gangbusters type fight. But it's a very important fight for the weight class, for the divisions, for the pound-for-pound rankings. So the level of that main event is humongous. But then you got a couple of heavyweight bangers on there that can really steal the show in terms of being, action-packed.
Clifton Mitchell reflected on his change of opinion after reviewing the footage. He admitted that, although Bivol had performed admirably, many of his punches were blocked by Beterbiev's defense, leaving him somewhat uncomfortable in the ring. After considering the fight from a different perspective, Mitchell ultimately felt that Beterbiev had earned the decision. This analysis led him to predict a victory for Beterbiev in any future matchups, further reinforcing the idea that Bivol would have to make significant adjustments if he hoped to claim victory.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go. Me and Scott Walsh are going to go.
Well, finally, what's your prediction on that?
Beterbiev. When I was there, I thought Bivol won. When I was there watching the fight, I thought he won. I watched it on telly and I can see why they gave it to Beterbiev. I can see why they gave it him, but there, because Bivol did it, but he did it like very uncomfortably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there, I think he was catching a lot on his hands, his gloves as well. So, yeah, we'll do that after. I'm definitely going back with Beterbiev.
Hamza Shiraz has a more optimistic outlook for Bivol. Shiraz predicted that Bivol would win the rematch by unanimous decision, citing Bivol's elite skills and ring IQ as key factors in his ability to outsmart Beterbiev. Shiraz noted the overall quality of the fights on the card, offering his gratitude for being a part of the event, while also expressing his belief in Bivol's ability to claim victory in a highly competitive bout.
Then I think Beterbiev is going to win via unanimous decision, but then again, listen, Bivol's a top fighter, so it's a great, all the fights are great fights, man, so it's just a massive honor to be a part of it, so a massive thank you to His Excellency for giving the opportunity.
Carl Froch shared his thoughts on the first fight, revealing that he had Bivol ahead on his scorecard. Froch's perspective highlights the technical aspects of the fight that may have been missed by the average viewer. Froch, who has a keen understanding of boxing dynamics, also offered Bivol some advice heading into the rematch. He urged Bivol to stay sharp in the final rounds, pointing out that he may have lacked the same intensity in the last 3 rounds of the first fight. With Beterbiev's relentless pressure and constant forward momentum, judges often favor the fighter who finishes strong, which could have been a deciding factor in the original scoring. Froch's advice reflects a belief that Bivol can improve his performance and potentially turn the tables in the rematch if he adapts his strategy in the later rounds.
Hey, people say that this fight never really caught fire, but for the purist and the people that understand boxing, that realise what they were watching, would have been on the edge of the seat, mesmerised by the skill level and the quality of both operators. Now, Bivol didn't get the decision. I thought he'd won when I watched it on the night. Beterbiev obviously won. He's unbeaten. Most of his fights have come by knockout. He went the distance with Bivol for the first time. I think Bivol maybe needs to look a bit more interested if that's fair, towards the end of the fight, maybe around 10, 11 and 12, I think he needs to get more shots off because he finished slow. Beterbiev put it on him a little bit more. It looked like he wanted to be in there a bit more. It looked like he was trying to win and trying to get that victory, and the judges do like that.
David Benavidez also shared his analysis of the first fight between Bivol and Beterbiev. Benavidez believed that Bivol had done enough to win, although he acknowledged that it was a very close contest. The combination punches Bivol landed throughout the fight gave him the advantage in Benavidez's eyes. Looking ahead to the rematch, Benavidez remains confident in Bivol's ability to win again, but he recognizes that both fighters are elite and capable of adjusting their strategy. Despite the uncertainty of how the rematch will play out, Benavidez is firm in his belief that Bivol will come out on top, assuming he performs similarly to their first meeting.
I thought Bivol won that fight, to be honest with you. It was a close fight. It could have went. No, it couldn't have went either way. I feel like Bivol won most of the rounds. He controlled most of the rounds, and his combination punching was better.
Do you think he wins the rematch?
I think he does.
Yeah. Is it different, or do you think it's more?
I mean, I don't know, because both those fighters are both high caliber fighters, so they can make adjustments. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be the same fight or not. But if it's the same fight, I feel like Bivol wins.
Callum Smith, who has faced both Bivol and Beterbiev in the ring, also weighed in with his thoughts on the rematch. Smith expressed that the first fight was incredibly close and that it was difficult to pick a winner. He suggested that a draw could have been a fair result, reflecting how evenly matched the two fighters were.
They're both very, very good fighters. I think that showed in the first fight. It was very, very hard to split them. I think I've seen a lot favour Beterbiev, a lot favour Bivol. A draw, probably a fair result, but I don't know. I just think second time round, they obviously both know each other well. I just don't know if the timing keeps going on. It favours Bivol a little bit more. He's younger, he's fresher, and Beterbiev, we keep saying it, but he can't keep going on, and that last fight was the toughest fight of his career. It'd be interesting to see how much that has took out of him.
However, Smith pointed out that Bivol's youth and freshness could give him an edge in the rematch, particularly since Beterbiev might be showing signs of aging. Beterbiev's previous fight, which Smith noted as being the toughest of his career, may have taken a toll on the Russian fighter. Smith, however, acknowledged that Beterbiev is still an extremely dangerous opponent. Ultimately, Smith predicted another close contest, but he believed that Bivol might have the advantage due to his sharper performance in the first fight.
Is he finally going to look his age? I don't know. I think it's going to be another really close fight and tough to pick them, but if I had to side with one, I'd side with Bivol this time.
Do you see a change from Beterbiev from the guy you faced to the one we saw against Bivol in the first fight?
Yeah, but it's hard to say. No, I feel like he didn't look as explosive. He feared to maybe age a little bit, but was that how good Bivol was on the night? Bivol was very, very good. He was very sharp, and he probably made him look that little bit older as well. So it's hard to read too much into either performances. It was a great fight. It was very hard to split them. I just favour Bivol a little bit this time.
Eddie Hearn reflected on the competitiveness of the first fight, stating that it was an incredibly close and high-quality matchup. Hearn expressed his belief that Bivol had done enough to win the first fight and that the rematch offers an opportunity for Bivol to make things right. Hearn's perspective emphasizes the importance of the rematch, as both fighters have earned the respect of the boxing community for their skill and tenacity.
I mean, it's the only fight. You know, the first fight was not just a great fight, but I mean, if you don't want to call it controversial, you can call it extremely competitive. I mean, for me, Dmitry won that fight, and we need to try and put it right, but Beterbiev's a great fighter, and I think the rematch would be an epic event.
Roy Jones Jr. praised Beterbiev's strength, power, and control in the ring. Jones emphasized that Beterbiev's ability to land devastating punches while maintaining a calm demeanor is one of his greatest attributes. Beterbiev's aggressive style and methodical approach to landing power shots make him a formidable opponent, but Jones's comments underline the immense challenge Bivol faces in their upcoming rematch.
Mainly just his power. His power along with his aggression and with his subtle face. He never changes his expression, which is a beautiful thing.
Gareth A. Davies suggested that Bivol might have the edge in speed and ring intelligence going into the rematch. Davies predicted that the fight could go the distance, with Bivol's sharpness and boxing IQ possibly helping him secure the win. His analysis offers a different perspective on the outcome, as he believes Bivol's skill set will be crucial in neutralizing Beterbiev's power and aggression.
Even though Roy Jones Jr. is telling Artur Beterbiev on his tour of the UK at the moment, you've got to go in there and smash smashing this time. I think Bivol will be faster, smarter this time, and they'll end up going into round 25 in another 6 months' time, maybe in September, October 2025.
Jose Benavidez Sr. echoed similar sentiments about the rematch being another close contest. Benavidez Sr. believes that Bivol's movement and ability to avoid punches will give him an advantage, while also recognizing that Beterbiev's style is extremely difficult to deal with. His prediction for a narrow victory for Bivol, possibly by just 1 point, aligns with other analysts who see the rematch as another tight battle between two highly skilled fighters.
Bivol, I think it's going to be kind of the same fight. It's going to be a really close fight. We've seen everything. Both of them were trying to do the best that they could. Both of them, the styles, kind of like work for each other. And I believe in the first fight, Bivol won. I think this fight, I think Bivol can win again. He's a little bit faster. He has more movement, and better be if he hits hard. And he's probably waiting for that big shot. And Bivol, hopefully he doesn't stay in front of him and get hit with a big shot. So I think I see the same fight.
Billy Denny's, who has first-hand experience sparring with Beterbiev, has a different perspective. He believes that Beterbiev will come out on top in the rematch, predicting that Bivol will struggle against Beterbiev's relentless pressure. Denise suggested that Bivol will need to stand and fight head-on to have a chance at victory, but ultimately he feels that Beterbiev's unyielding style will be too much for Bivol to handle, predicting a knockout victory for Beterbiev later in the fight.
I had Beterbiev up by 2-3 rounds. I was luckily to be sat so close to the ring, and I think Bivol just thought he could go on the back foot, throw a little flurry at the end of the last 10 seconds and it winning the round, and Beterbiev was making him miss a lot. It looked like he was hitting him, but he wasn't. He was hitting the gloves and stuff, and Beterbiev controlled the pace, the pressure, cut the ring off, big shots landed, and the only way for Bivol to come back from this now, he's got to fight him. You've got to stand there and fight him, and I think this time he's going to knock him out.
Overall, the predictions for the rematch between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev vary, with analysts and fighters offering their unique insights into how the fight might unfold. What remains clear is that both fighters are elite competitors, and the rematch is expected to be just as thrilling and competitive as their first encounter. So what are your thoughts about this fight? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.